So the Ninth Circuit has blocked an injunction that was placed on Trump from the lower court that did not allow him, the city did not have the power to send the National Guard to the riots in Los Angeles, the protests in Los Angeles. The Ninth Circuit said, actually, wait a minute, we're going to let him do it for now. Importantly, people need to know this is not an adjudication on the merits. This is regarding that kind of temporary restraining order, which has special issue under the law.
And Donald Trump is celebrating this as if it's the greatest victory he's ever received. And maybe it is, because he is now already threatening, you know what? We just had all those No King's Day protests, that kind of overshadowed my birthday parade. So maybe I'll start sending out more troops. He is empowered by this decision because, one, I think he doesn't fully understand what it means, which is typical. But two, he now sees this as, you know what? I can continue to put my boot on the neck of these Democratic governors. I can go against Democratic mayors. I can send the National Guard wherever I want to send them. And he's considering doing that. I think, obviously, the situation since this ruling came down has changed a little bit with what we're doing with our troops. But if he has any extra, they could be roaming the streets of a city near us at any minute.
Well, and you mentioned the No King's Day protests. Those are now the largest protests in the United States history, confirmed by multiple reporting agencies, which is incredible. People are fed up with this. And I know he's not a big reader, and this report is rather lengthy, the order of the court, so the viewers understand a little bit better. These temporary restraining orders, they have a really high standard, and the court talks about that. There's a really high standard to get a temporary restraining order. And they're very clear in here. One, that the Department of Justice is wrong, that the judiciary has the power to review orders of the president. They were very clear, and a lot of the report is dealing with that. I'm sure that nuance got lost on him. They also make a big point in here that this is only regarding the temporary restraining order, not the basis of the actual litigation. That is still working its way through the court process. And while he may only have a 30-second attention span, the courts are slow and it's plodding through. Now, to your point, it's interesting because he could just withdraw the troops before it's fully adjudicated, and then that issue is moot, meaning the courts won't have to decide on the basis of what actually does this mean, can he do it? And I think that's the most likely outcome, is that he'll say, I win, he'll declare victory, withdraw the troops before it's litigated, and then there's nothing to be litigated.
It does get me a little bit here that Trump, even before this, decision, while we were still dealing with it, before Newsom even filed the lawsuit from California, he was already talking about sending more National Guard troops to other Democrat-run cities, as he calls them, saying they were overrun with the migrants, they were overrun with these violent protesters, using the imagery like they tried to in 2020, saying cities are burning to the ground, which never happened. It didn't happen in 2020. It's not happening in 2025. No city has been burned to the ground. But he's using that to feed the base, because the base still says those things. They still believe Seattle burned to the ground. None of them live there, and so they're like, no, it's not a city anymore. So he uses that fear, he uses that threat to get these people to support his dictatorial actions. And they do. I mean, my God, you see the comments online, you see the posts from these conservative influencers. They love this because it's not happening to them yet. Now, eventually, dictators run out of people to target on the other side. And that's when we start to see this kind of creeping into your own side, which happened this weekend. Trump has launched a super PAC specifically designed to take out one Republican lawmaker in next year's primaries. So it's already starting, and all these Republicans cheering it on. Laugh now, you're next.